Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, today's a good day. We just got a lot of games revealed for later in 2020 and also 2023. A few games that look very interesting, very cool, and I would love to play. And the rest of them, well, not very lackluster, right? Pretty terrible. Most of the games, and I'll just name a few, like, the majority of the Blizzard games, Diablo 4. If you guys seen what Diablo Immortal had to offer, well, Diablo 4 is probably not going to be much different. And Overwatch 2 is, Overwatch 1.1. Not much different. I am extremely disappointed at whatever Blizzard putting out, honestly. And you guys know the history, right? So, none more to say on that. There is the Ghost Hunters game. Not the Ghost Hunters. Ghostbusters game that looks interesting. It's like they kind of flipped Friday 13th and, Dead by Daylight on its head and is like, hey, instead of one person hunting four people trying to escape, it's four people hunting one ghost, and then the ghost tries to escape. I think it's pretty cool. Looks interesting. Not that I have friends to play with, but whatever. We don't talk about that. And then we have Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, the DLC, which looks pretty freaking cool. Pretty cool. Pretty interesting. I like it. In a game that already has a lot of player freedom, because you can do so much things just as a character and all the movesets and all that stuff. So much stuff. Not that I know a lot about it, because I haven't played a Monster Hunter in a long time. They have a lot of good stuff and more things to offer. So I think Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak will be pretty freaking cool. Another game that I'm super interested in is Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16 looks absolutely gorgeous and amazing. I would love to play that game later on. Black Myth Wukong, you guys already saw that. I also want to play that game. And what's the other one? What's the other game that I remember? Oh yeah, Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6, not that I'm good at any fighting games whatsoever, other than back in the day where, I was one of those people that would play Noob Saibot and would learn the one combo that would, you just spam over and over again. And then you would just win the degenerate way, right? After pushing him into a corner, maybe. Yeah, that was me. But enough of that, we don't talk about that. Street Fighter 6 looks really cool, really dope. I would like to see all the other characters other than the ones they've shown so far. But yeah, all that looks cool. But today, we are not talking about or reacting to those. Today, we're talking about Dark Souls games. The day they released wolong Fallen Dynasty, which I am very looking forward to. And I don't do much of this at all. I usually only react to actual games that I'm probably going to play 100% as soon as it comes out. And this seems like one of them. But basically, I have a lot of hours in Dark Souls games. And this one will not be different. Especially I have a lot of hours in Nioh games, because Nioh was absolutely amazing. Other than the first boss in Nioh 1 that I got stuck on for like an hour and 30 minutes for some reason. Really stupid. I think it was like the Onryo or the Onryoki, whatever it was called. Yeah, that bitch was annoying. So, today, we're going to be reacting to Wolong Fallen Dynasty, which is a game I'm most likely going to be 100% willing to play. But we're going to be reacting to Wolong Fallen Dynasty, made by the creators of, I think it was Bloodborne and Nioh. We'll see. When you look at the graphics, you can automatically tell which freaking developer it was from. So, yeah, let's go. Yeah, you can tell. It is really loud. Really, really loud. Team Ninja. Looks cool. God, it looks so cool though. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I wonder what this is. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing some kind of like, for as far as I know, this is placed in like the Three Kingdoms kind of storyline. You know, the Chinese story. It was like a Chinese novel, whatever. And I think they're gonna go off some type of like cultivation, chi key type of thing. That looks cool. This gives me like, I'm gonna pause again, but this gives me hard like Dynasty Warrior vibes, and I absolutely love it. Like Dynasty Warriors, like freaking what other games was there that was like Dynasty Warriors, like some old Soul Calibur vibes too. Love it. God, that looks cool. Ooh, you got a freaking dragon, yo! Okay. Okay, I'm playing it. I'm playing it. 100% I'm playing it. Oh. Is that Lu Bu? Is that Lu Bu? Okay. So Lu Bu is freaking awesome. Definitely Dynasty Warriors vibes. You know, PlayStation 2. Just run around and kill shit. Love it. I wonder if they have like Guan Yu and all that stuff too. That would be awesome to see. Early 2023. Oh, that's so dope. That's so dope. So we're going to be also reacting to the interviews. So let's go. Now this is the interview. I think they just kind of replay the entire thing kind of throughout the interview.
wolong については
Oh yeah, you guys can't even see it. Let me put this up a bit. Let's go.
まあ超えてくもが得意にしている歴史ものっていうこと
You guys can't even see that either. Onto the other side. Make this smaller.
と、チーム忍者これまでニオシリーズこの数年ずっと作ってきましたけど、そのブレンドというか、
And Nioh was
まあ、
super
組み合わせ
awesome.
っていう部分で
Now for Nioh, I was not a part of one of those people that always played the Switchglaive and the Split Staff. Like, screw that. Screw that. We're gonna at least try and use no brain, alright? And pretty much I used the spear. And I did like the spinning tornado build in Nioh 2, because it was the most simplest thing. And also it was really good. And then later on I got bored because I was around like the 4th or 5th playthrough. And I was like, alright, I need to do something that's like broken or something. And I was like, alright, I'm gonna go with like a Susanoo Amaterasu freaking build with like the split staff and Switchglaive. So yes, I gave in at the end, but in the first 3 playthroughs, yeah, I did it with just freaking I think it was like Wave the Wise to Wave the Demon, I think. I think Wave the Demon's like 4th playthrough. But whatever. I pretty much did it with like the spinning tornado build pretty much. And it carried me through a lot. It was a really good build.
で今回中国の三国志の時代を舞台にしているので
Three Kingdoms. Oh, I'm going back. Hold up. Set during Three Kingdoms period of Chinese history.
今回
Okay.
中国の三国志の時代を
So
舞
that
台に
was
している
correct.
ので、それに合わせた
Warlords not mentioned. Not to mention the action you expect from Team Ninja. Yeah. The gameplay in Nioh was really dope. Especially in Nioh 2. Nioh 1 was like, it was okay. There was a lot of hiccups along the way for me, especially in Nioh 1. I'm probably not going to go back and play Nioh 1. I'll probably go back and play Nioh 2 like 3 or 4 years from now. But yeah.
ストーリー、ド
A
ラ
lot
マ
of
チッ
cool
クな
stuff.
武将たちとのお話であったり、何よりアクションですね。チーム忍者なんで期待している方
God,
多い
Lu
と思
Bu
うんで
looks
す
so
が、
cool though.
中華アクションを取
You
り
get
入
the
れ
red
た
stallion, and then you
スピーディー
just see his
没入
flaring
感のある
freaking
バトルを
feathers and stuff.
描けていると思う。
We've made the action speedier to create battles filled with immersion. So the battles are going to be a bit faster. Okay. Okay.
こに一番期待していただきたいです。
本作で目指して
I honestly didn't mind the kind of slow gameplay because that's kind of the way I play most Souls games anyways. I play very slow and methodically. Just kind of, just bait stuff out, wait for it, and then attack. Pretty much what every single Souls player does. But I do like the fact that they're trying to make things a bit more speedy. So yeah. We're aiming for action, life or death. Well, the majority of Souls games have a lot of life and death. They drew on Chinese martial arts and expanded them. Oh, okay, so they're going to mix in some Chinese martial arts and stuff into the gameplay. Okay, sounds interesting. Actually, that will give the player a feeling of elation.
システムというか新しい戦略みたいな点でいうと戦場の指揮みたいなのをなんかうまく表現して落とし込めないかなというふうに考えていて自分が強いやつを倒すことによって盛り上がる。
Honestly, I want to know what the heck this glowy stuff is, right? I think what they're trying to do is some type of if you guys read a lot of Chinese manga, or I think it's manhwa or something like that, you guys know that they really love their cultivation stuff. One of the sects or kind of martial arts that you always see for the most part in the majority of manhwas is the manhwa sect, right? And then you got the plum blossom sword and all that. This is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Also, the whole cultivation and key and internal stuff, right? I feel like this is about what they're doing.
で何かを得るとか、逆に敵の方も勢いづくとか、なんかそういった部分をうまく死にゲーのレベルデザインと融合させて落とし込むってところを狙って、制作しています。
Okay. So they're kind of doing what they're doing and I know I'm pausing a lot, but I'm gonna do it because I got a lot to say. So I feel like what they're trying to do is make the gameplay more flowy, if that's even a word, or they want the gameplay or the fighting to flow more. So kind of what they did in Nioh 2, where some of the moves, if you were really good at the game mechanically, you could make a lot of moves flow really well and just combo off and pop off, right? I feel like that's what they're trying to do with this one. So I would really love to see how they do it.
非常にそこは手応えを間違いなく感じてもらえるものになるかなと思ってますが、難しければいいとか暗ければいいとかそんなことは絶対にないので、バトルだったりレベルデザインも含めたゲームのインテンシティ、密度や強度が強いゲームを作りたいっていうのがあるので、そこは重要視していて、ゲームとしてはステージの自由度は今回ジャンプ
We have increased the feeling of freedom and the complexity of the levels through things like adding a jump ability. Oh yeah, because Nioh and Nioh 2 have the most incompetent freaking characters. Yo. And if you guys played Nioh and Nioh 2, there are ledges that are just a little bit taller than your character, and you're like, yo, my character could freaking just jump that, climb it, right? Just kind of use their whole leg and stuff and just climb over, right? But because it's a freaking Souls game, they can't swim, they can't jump, all right? So I think this will be interesting. It's kind of like Elden Ring, where you can actually jump and do more damage, which I really like Elden Ring. Just haven't played it yet. We're broke college students here, right? I'm a broke college student. So, I haven't played Elden Ring. I would love to play it later on, though. But adding a jumping ability, that's pretty cool. It's like in Nioh 2, where they have a lot of... I think it was one of the spear abilities. I forget if the split staff had it. But one of the spear abilities, which if you were in low stance, you could kind of... It was kind of a jump, but not really. And then the split staff also had like a jumping type of thing, more elevation and stuff. So yeah, I think that's what they're kind of trying to do. Which if you can actually just like straight up just jump and do more stuff, I think that'd be absolutely amazing. Although offer freedom, yeah, it's not open world. That's just how it
自由
is.
に探索できるとかそういったオープンなイメージではなくてリニア
I
な
honestly don't mind that it's not
レ
open
ベル
world.
があってそれを
Elden
突破
Ring
して
did a
いく
really
っていう
cool
イメー
thing
ジで
where
ミッ
with
ショ
it
ン性
being
のイ
open
メージ
world,
でい
but
ていただいて
I
問題ない
like
と思います
Souls games that
ただ
like
奈
are
良
not
県
open
の側
world.
面だ
They're
ったり
just really
で
big
一部そういっ
maps.
たオープンな場所があったりするのでそういったところもまあ楽しんでいただけるかなと思ってます。
I want to know what this is. Hopefully they explain it.
一番大きなポイントとしてはまあ、ニオであったら侍のバトルのイメージとしてスタミナと気力というもの。
And then you had like the purity and the what was it? It's the purity and the corrosion builds or the corruption builds, where like you would just straight up stagger enemy bosses like no tomorrow if you like knew the mechanics well. Like with a split staff, so easy. It actually, when I did the like in the 4th and 5th playthrough, when I switched to like the Susanoo Amaterasu freaking builds with like the split staff and whatnot, the purity build at least, absolutely just draining the monsters like ki and stamina or whatever was so easy, and it made the game so much easier.
があって、まあ、敵の気力と自分の気力を見ながら攻守のこうタイミングを見極めて戦うっていう部分があるんですが、今回、ウォロンについてはバトルにおいてそういったその気力
Battles are much shorter and faster. So so if they're shorter and faster, are they adding more combats to alleviate how much like shorter it is, or are they like making the bosses harder as in mechanics but making their health bar like smaller? That's what I want to know.
短期的な攻守のやり
Because
取
they
り
said
そしてそれが切り
the
替わる
combat
っ
is
ていう
going
も
to
の
be
を
pretty fast,
より
right?
バトルテンポが
They
速
wanted
く
it to be
っていうも
quicker.
のは
So it's going to be like some high tempo combat shit, and you're going to get your ass whooped 100%.
正しいイメージしていただけるのかなと思います。
まあ、攻撃と防御を一連の中で入れ替わるってところを目指していて、
Wait, what
そ
they
こが
say?
流麗さであったりとかケレン味のあるアクションにはなってるんですけど、そ
What they say?
攻撃と防御を
We're aiming for the players to switch frequently between attack and defense.
一連の
Okay.
中で入れ替わるってところを目指していて、そこが流麗さであったりとかケレン味のあるアクションにはなってるんですけど、それを本当にギリギリの戦いを勝ち抜いたってところの達成感とかそういうものにつなげていきたいっていうのが狙いですね。
アクスラに関しては今回もウォーロンでも要素としてはあって
Hack and slash elements?
三国
Okay.
好きな方はいろいろこう武将だったら武器だよねとか容易にイメージしていただけると思うんですが、そういった武器というものは登場します。ただ
Of course, yeah, that's
まあ
like
日本の場合は
Lubu's. Like, if you know Lubu, like, and obviously, in a lot of games, and I'm mostly going to refer to, like, Mobile Legends, if you guys know what the heck that game is. A lot of games tend to have, like, Xin Zhao or Zhao Yun, however they put it. You know, I think Xin Zhao is, like, copyrighted by freaking Riot. And I think Mobile Legends had like a whole debate over it, and so they had changed their name to like Zhao Yun or something like that. But obviously, I think Arena of Valor had like Lu Bu, and so like a lot of these characters, and also I think the story of like the Three Kingdoms is super popular, so they're in a lot of games. Which I like all the characters in general.
そういった武器
I
とい
think
うもの
I
は
think Lu Bu is like one of my most favorite just because he looks awesome. He's on a giant red stallion, has a giant spear, and just plows through enemies. And then Guan Yu with his giant freaking
登場
like
します。
I don't know what it's even
まあ日本
called.
の場合は
It's like a crescent
甲
cleaver or
冑であ
something
っ
like
た
that.
り武器であったりってものをもうとにかくこう強化していってっていうイメージですけど、ウォロンについてはそこまで頻繁にこう装備を更新していくとか敵を倒
Oh, hold up! I was talking too much and I didn't even notice what they said. Fans of the Three Kingdoms will know which weapons go with which warriors, and those weapons will be in the game. Okay, so we can have the weapons of enemies we fight, which is pretty much what Nioh did. Nioh 2, you can pretty much have the exact same equipment and all that stuff of all the bosses you fight. In Neo's case, the player gathered things like armor and weapons.
とにかくこう強化していってっていうイメージですけど、ウォロについてはそこまで。
In wolong, you won't be switching your equipment up quite as much. So I'm guessing we won't have like 4 weapons. You know, you had your primary, secondary, and your primary long range and your secondary long range. And not all enemies will drop items. Oh, okay. So items will be a bit more scarce. Okay. I'm guessing they're going to be more on the combat instead of the equipment.
シンプルな形ではあるんですが、そこにはランダムの性能を持っていたりするので、そういった意味でより繰り返し遊んでいただくことはできるんですが、それだけが目的っていうものではない、ゲームデザインになってます。
I'm not the biggest fan. Like he said, it's a more simple system, but it should lead to random status outcomes and replayability. I'm not the biggest fan of like things that like certain games keeping it simple. I think keeping it simple in certain games are cool, right? You don't want to overload like your player base with like all the stuff, but I think for like Nioh type games, I like more complex stuff, more things to go into. I think if you're just like, I have the feeling that they're going to be like, here is like martial arts, you can do A, B, C, right? And then you choose of one of them or you do a combination. That's the kind of what I'm getting. And if not a lot of enemies are going to drop equipment, then that means they're going to be more focused on the martial arts instead of like the looting and like getting your equipment and getting geared up for the next like huge battle, right?
するので、そういった意味でより繰り返し遊んでいただくことはできるんですが、それだけが目的っていうものではない。
But I think it's cool if like you can do a lot of stuff for replayability.
ニオと同じものは用意しております。お客様がやっぱり
Oh yeah, multiplayer in Nioh 2 was really cool. Nioh 2 had really cool multiplayer. The only bad thing is when the person you're doing multiplayer with doesn't want to play the game by themselves like at all. And so like they don't understand anything about the game and you kind of just carry them through it.
ここには対応しようということで用意しております。
リアルタイムでの協力プレイであったり、そういった
In real-time co-op play system, which means that players who are less skilled can turn to seasoned players for help. Yeah.
あるので、アクション苦手な方であっても他のプレイヤーに助けてもらってもいいですし、逆に自分自身がある方はぜひ他の人を助けに行ってもらったりとか、そういったものも楽しんでいただける。
It's kind of like the thing in Nioh 2 where you can like go to other people's game or their play through, and then you can kind of just like help them through a stage and whatnot. The character creator in this game is based on Nioh 2, so you know a good bit of character design, right? I know a lot of people, and I think there's like a whole Reddit for this where like people have created like anime characters in Nioh 2. Like even I have like my own characters, right? I got Madara, I got Sun Wukong, and this one was based off of I think Black Myth. I have Saitama, which is just bald and right, and then I have like Shanks. Of course, you got Sasuke, Naruto, and all that stuff, and yeah, a lot of good stuff. You know, Tifa, Hinata, and all that stuff, which was pretty cool. That you can make like anime characters and put them in the game and whatnot, and also have the freedom to create your own and just random designs. So I think this is pretty good.
例えばですけど、中国らしいパーツを用意したりとか、お客さんが三国志ってものに臨めるような形でキャラエディットできるようなところは対応しています。
ゲームデザインの側面でもやっぱりリアルな戦いだったり、シミュレーションゲームで描かれる三国志であったり、軍勢を倒しながら駆け巡るっていう意味だと無双シリーズ
They said Dynasty Warriors. That's cool.
だったりで、そういったゲームがある中で我々が大事にしたいのはやっぱりその強敵と
Okay, that's good.
対峙
I think it's good to have strong enemies where you feel like you worked hard, and when you beat them, it feels rewarding. It's like in Nioh 1 when you beat the first enemy, because I took like an hour and a half to beat that son of a bitch, and it was really hard. But yeah, other people may have not had a hard time, but I did.
達成感を感じても
So
ら
I
える
do like the fact that like they want you to
も
feel
ちろん武将たち
rewarded
もたくさん登場しますけ
or
ど
make it feel rewarding to fight these enemies that are hard and beat them. Famous warriors from the Three Kingdoms period appear, but to increase the scale of the combat, we added a supernatural enemy type named Fiends to shake things up. Yeah, China had like
加えて
China has like their own yokai.
まあ超常的な
Like, they have their own
まあ
ghosts and
本当に
stuff.
強大な存
Like, it'd
在
be
っていうも
cool.
のはゲームデザインバトルを考える上で
Also, China has like their own Ninetales too. I think Korea also does. Like, for some reason, a lot of I don't know if anybody else noticed it. I'm sure a lot of people who like history and like just mythology and stuff noticed. But like China, Korea, and Japan, some of their myths and legends tend to overlap. I don't know the originality of like everything, you know, but a lot of their myths and legends overlap. So I think that a lot of like elements could be shared and it'd be a really cool story. Like, I think it was in an anime, Ushio Totora, I think that's what it was called, where like they kind of talk about how like the Ninetales came from like China to Japan and all that stuff. So I think if they could have like an origin story of the Ninetales in Nioh and kind of connect them in a way, that'd be cool. But
必要だったので
that's
そのイメー
to
ジ
be
を
seen, of course.
導入しました
They could have like some Easter eggs and whatnot. Make this a bit lower. And the awesome dragon. I like this. I want to fight a giant dragon like in Sekiro.
のがガリュウっていうまあ伏せた竜ネー
Oh,
ムガリュウ
wolong
みたい
is
な
a Chinese for a crouching dragon.
なん
Okay,
ですけど
okay.
で今回そのガリュウっていう
So it's crouching dragon fallen dynasty. Interesting. The reason we chose this title is because the idea of a dragon crouching to pounce symbolizes a hero before they're known, just like our protagonist. Okay.
暗号機好きな方
In a
は
very
ね特定のやっぱり
Sekiro stance here.
人物を想像すると思うんですが意味としてはそのまだ世に知られていな
I
い
like
英
it.
雄
I like it a lot.
傑物っていう意味があってまあ今回その三国志の始まりの時期三国志まあ
Oh,
長
it's only
い
beginning.
時代がありますけどその
So we could
を描いているというのも
Possibility
その後に非常にこう
possibility of DLCs for like the remainder, right? And they could be really long DLCs too. During this time frame, the iconic figures of the Three Kingdoms period were not known to the public yet.
中国をこう三国でこう分かれて統一したりっていうような武将たちがまだ世に知られていないっていう彼らの物語でもありますし何よりこう
Oh, so we may
名もない
meet like
一人の
Lubu
主人公と
towards the
し
end.
てその
Okay.
キャラクター自身もまあ一人の我流の一人であるっていうことでそのタイトルをつけました
Oh, okay. So we may be one of the main characters. Like, we may be Lubu or Guan Yu or whatever, right? Okay. Okay. So these are the themes. Oh, that's the end of it. Alright, so... Oh, it's so cool. I really like this like new Nioh game. Pretty much. This like new Nioh style Souls game, right? I think it's really freaking awesome. I want to learn more about the fighting mechanics and whatnot. Whatever they're doing, the martial arts, the ki and whatnot they're trying to do. So this will be very interesting to play. It looks awesome. I think the thing I want to do the most is fight this giant dragon. I wanna beat this thing and I wanna beat it to the ground. All right. I'm gonna feel absolutely awesome. And as a self-insert Andy, all right, that's how it's gonna be. So that was it for today's video. I know it's a bit of a long one, but if you got all the way down here towards the end, hey, please like, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content in the future. I have a lot of things planned. I am going to make like a League of Legends video because there's the Demon Lord of League of Legends that came out. And I don't know if anybody else kind of feels the same way that I do about the new champion Bel'Veth. But I kind of see her as like the Demon Lord of League of Legends at the moment. Other than Viego, even though kind of the same thing. But yeah, so I have like a Bel'Veth video coming out. I want to finish up playing Soul Calibur. And I also want to go ahead and play Batman Arkham Origins too. So look out for those. And I'll see you guys in those videos. So, peace out.